In the first half of the previous decade, there was a game that had a simple premise, but was complicated enough to keep people playing it. The game is called Clash of Clans, and it has become one of the biggest mobile games in the 2010s, and has remained quite relevant until now. What if we take COC and place it in the world of blockchain? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a treat for you as we are going to talk about building bases like no one else in Illuvium Zero. Stick around for more. Welcome everyone to another video from Crypto Cash Out, the channel that is the all-in-one place to go for your crypto needs. We have videos of blockchain projects, so subscribe if you want to see more videos from us. Please be reminded that we are not financial advisors. We never claim to be experts on the subjects, which means that you must not take what we say or show in this video as financial advice. We just want to share information and nothing more. Please be responsible and do additional research after this video. Okay, off we go. But before we get to base building, I think it is better that we go for some foundations first. Illuvium is one of the biggest up and coming games in our Web3 world. People are talking about it as it has the potential for the game of the year. If you want to know more about Illuvium, we have a separate video on it, but it is basically Pokemon meets auto chess battlers. But sometimes turning on your personal computer to play the game can be such a hassle, especially if you just want to check your resources and Illuviums to see if they're doing okay. That is why the developers of Illuvium brought us Illuvium Zero, a minigame from the main title that helps you manage resources, that brings new feature to give the game a unique feeling even if you do not play the main Illuvium game. So that is the most basic premise of Illuvium Zero. You can play the base building minigame on your phone, which adds to the convenience of the game as you do not have to turn on your computer. You just have to whip out your phone and have fun managing your base. You can create a self-sufficient economy and grow materials on the land plots, which you can then use in the main game of Illuvium. For the longest time, the idea of Illuvium Zero has been in the shadows as the developers are also preparing themselves for the main game. People have been waiting for this game to come so they can be introduced to Illuvium at least. And after days, weeks, months, and even more months of waiting, it is finally here, or at least what they unofficially announced. If you have been following their Discord channel, you can see important messages here. If you haven't followed it, go do so as they are super transparent with their announcements and are sending leaks about the game. Anyway, from their Discord, one developer stated that they are working hard in order to release Illuvium Zero in alpha for September. That is only a couple of weeks from now. But be careful, this isn't an official announcement and we are still waiting for things to come. But there are more than one account that states that they are trying to release the game. We have Nick here from the development team saying, "Here to be completely transparent, yes, we're feeling confident about September." But again, still no official announcement for that, but we can now be a little optimistic because two people from the development team are saying that September is the month. Now, why is this important? If you remember back in June 2022 when they started the land sale was such a huge success as it gathered over $72 million in sales. That is a lot for a 2-month period. You can really feel that people want to get involved with this game. Even if it is a mini game, people still want it. If you want to know the prices of the lands, then we can tell it to you now. From the sources we have gathered, they are selling it for ETH, but it may be sold for ILV in the future. But for now, let us settle with ETH and take a look at the prices. There are 5 tiers of lands and each tier has their own value. For Tier 1 land, their starting price is at 2 ETH. But remember that this is the base price. The value can go up for different factors such as the things you do with your land. After the first land sale, there were 12,029 plots of land that were sold. Next up, we have the Tier 2 that has a starting price of 6 ETH, and like Tier 1s, their value can change depending on how you develop the lands and sell it to people. After the first sale, there were 5,012 plots of land that were sold. Tier 3 had 2,088 plots of land that were sold, and each plot of Tier 3 land was sold for 20 ETH. Then we have the fourth tier of land that sells for 80 ETH for each piece of land, and there were only 869 plots of land that were sold at the time. As you can see, the price difference between them is really big, but you will see why that is the case later. The unique thing about the rarest plot of land or the tier 5 land is that there is no fixed base price for the land. Selling of the land is done through auction and it is live, which means price for tier 5 land can get pretty high really fast. I think this is a welcome change in order to keep the scarcity of the lands there. For the first land sale, there were only 2 available plots of tier 5 lands up for grabs. If you add the total number of lands sold after the first land sale, you can see that there were 20,000 plots of land that were sold at a time. In total, Illuvium Zero is looking at selling 100,000 plots of land in the game, so stay tuned for the next land sale if you really do not want to miss your chance. Now, each plot of land is unique as they hold features that will help boost efficiency in the land. We have element sites, fuel sites, and landmarks. All of these things are important in order to help boost production in the lands. For tier 1 lands, there are 6 element sites for the lands and only 1 fuel site. There are also no landmarks. All of these factors combine to give a 0% boost in production. Tier 2 lands have 6 element sites and 3 fuel sites. Still no landmarks here for an added boost of 33.33%. This is a huge jump from the 0%, but it gets even crazier as tier 3 lands have 9 element sites and 6 fuel sites. They also have a single element landmark for a production boost of 100%. Then, tier 4 lands have 12 element sites and 9 fuel sites. They also have a single fuel landmark for a total boost of 300%. Lastly, we have tier 5 lands that have 15 element sites, 12 fuel sites, and 1 arena. They add to the production by 900%. No wonder people are wanting this land as they can offer so much for an individual. I think the lands are adding so much to the depth of the game and it really adds to the excitement of the game itself. Something to look forward to. Moreover, there are leaks suggesting that even if the lands are of the same tier, each one can also be different depending on what region the land is from. From the leaks, here is what we know. We have the Crimson Waste, which is a region that you can compare to a desert. The region is described to be of intense heat, which sounds like we are going to find fire affinities here. We also have the Halcyon Sea, which is, well, a sea. You can find awesome illuviums in this area, and if you want this land, then you can always take it. There are also leaks saying Abyssal Basin and Brightland Steppes will be available for sale. So yeah, now that you have the lands, you can do whatever you like to do with the land. You can design the land in an aesthetic manner, you can rotate buildings and whatnot. The game is really deep and you can play it even if you have not tried the main game. The exciting part about this is that you can get blueprints when researching the individual illuvials. The kicker is that you can keep the blueprints to the skins and other cosmetics when the game gets released in beta, which is good news to the alpha players. So that's it. What do you think of the game? Be sure to comment down below your thoughts on the game for a chance at a shoutout giveaway. If you did enjoy the game, be sure to like it as it really helps us a ton. Also, subscribe to help us grow and reach more people with our videos. We also have a video on the Sandbox Alpha Season 3, which might be the biggest event this year. So go check that out if you want to learn more about the game. Thanks for watching and we hope that you enjoyed watching and learning with us. Stay safe and have fun cashing out.